So I think that we are on live now. Just let me just wait a little bit more because here in screen is going a lot and you know the sound will be loud, so I have to mute it. Yeah. So let's start. Hello guys, good afternoon. Hello people who follow us on YouTube. We are here with Pedro and Bruna for another English immersion with me as a facilitator. Before starting our immersion, I wanna explain you a little bit of how Talk and Talk works. So Talk and Talk is a platform of languages where you can practice and learn different languages such as English, Spanish, Italian, French, Mandarin, and others. So something that I consider it's so important about this platform is that we try to create a safe environment where we don't feel afraid of making mistakes. And so we try to bring some different topics to talk about. We just try to create a real environment or a real conversation and using to use the English information that we already have in our minds. So it is not a regular English class. It's a real conversation. We don't correct each other because it's something that we try to avoid. Another important disclaimer is that I am not the English teacher. I work in a different field, so I am here just as you, as a student, and I'm here just for leading, guiding, or leading the conversation. Okay. And we normally start with a self-presentation. In my personal opinion, it's something so important because we can use it as a warm-up to let our brains know that we are switching to a different language and then starting answering the questions. So let's start with our self presentation. So first, please, Pedro, could you please introduce yourself for us to us?
Hello guys, my name is Pedro. I'm from metropolitan region of Belo Horizonte. I am 25 years old. I work as a graphic designer. So I am the talk like for 4 months. I am here to improve my language skills. I speak English, but I speak a little about the French too. It's good to be with you guys.
Thank you so much, Pedro. I am happy to have you here in our English immersion. So let's go to the next our next guest. Go ahead, Sydney, please introduce yourself to us.
Surely. Firstly, good afternoon for everyone. I'm Sydney, like Pedro. I live in Belo Horizonte. I'm 39 years old. I'm accountant and married. I'm also here on Talk and Talk today because I have a objective to improve my spoken English. And also, I think Talk Talk provide us a safe environment to provide it. We can express ourselves without some judgments. It's a good, a positive point, and also enjoy the process. Another thing that is important to improve ourselves, not to see in the future achieving some level, but to enjoy it. We without thinking about that, we could achieve our objectives. So that's it, guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tine, for being here and be able to share your opinions and your insights. And now, please, Bruna, introduce yourself to us.
Hello, guys. First of all, I apologize that my camera is off, but I won't be able to turn it on today. I'm Bruna. I'm 28, and I'm from Brasilia. I've been here in Talk Talk for about 8 months, and I'm also a writer for Talk and Talks blog. I'm currently studying to be a front-end developer. And in my free time, I love to watch movies, read books, listen to music. I love photography as well. But yeah, nice to meet you guys.
Pleasure is ours, Bruna. I already recognized your voice. I remember the immersion that you participated with us, and you told me that it was your first time. I don't remember the topic, but I already recognized your
Yeah.
voice. So thank you so much for being here again. So let's start, guys, with our today's immersion. As I already said, I brought some random question. Maybe it's so good to know more about each other because sometimes we participate together in different immersions, so we create kind of relationship, right? So let's do it. The question number one: what would you choose as your ideal vacation destination if money were not object? I wanted to know from you, Pedro, what do you think about the question number one? What would be the destination that you consider if money were not object?
Yes, I think money is a limitation for us when you think about the travel and this thing because you have to choose like some place um, that it fits in your arrangement, your budget. So some place I think it isn't uh, I forgot how to say caro. I just remember cheap, but it's a destination cheap abroad. It's about Indonesia and the countries in this area. Expensive, thanks, Christian. So I think I consider it to go there because the weather is like in Brazil, and we have a beautiful place to visit, more natural, like more literal. And I think Indonesia would be a good destination for some vacation for me. But I really like some places in Brazil that I don't know yet, like Jalapão and the other Chapada dos Veadeiros. And I think it's a real good destination too.
Thank you so much, Pedro. About Brazil, I think the same. I am currently living here for 2 years, so now we are planning our next trip for our next summer vacation with my wife. And I'm really considering traveling around Brazil because I know that you Brazilians have here a lot of beautiful places to know So I think that I'm gonna tell my wife to know more about Brazil, maybe some beaches, maybe I don't know, some places, some beautiful places that you have here. Thank you so much, Pedro, for your opinion. And you, Bruna, what do you think about it? What would be your dream vacation if money weren't a problem?
I try to make a tour through Europe, like a lot of countries there, especially countries like Scotland, Germany, Nordic countries. I love it. So it would be awesome. And I also would love to go to South Korea. So yeah, it would be my dream.
Yeah, that's something interesting because I think that you guys are mentioning some places that I have never thought before. In my personal case, I think that it can sound like a cliche, but I really would like to go to like France, Italia, German. I don't know, but people told me that those kind of countries are kind of overestimated. I'm not sure why. They tell us that they are just a picture, but when you get those places, it's not like you expected. So, but even with that opinion, I really would like to go over there someday. So that would be my place, my places. And what about you, Sydney? Tell us about your vacation dreams.
Yeah, I think I share the same opinion like Pedro said. I think Indonesia has a lot of beautiful island. I think with exuberant and exotic nature. I remember when I watched for the first time the movie The Blue Lagoon. I think that's it. And that place, yeah, awake me a strong desire to visit. I know that in Brazil we in that a tropical country. There are many places such as, but I would like to visit some place like that different in some another country, as well to visit Saudi Arabia or Africa. It could be an interesting destination because I'd like to see how the people, different culture, the different how their behavior, their customs. I think also would be a I think an interesting opportunity.
Thank you so much, Sydney. So let's move on, guys, to the question number two. I want to start with you, Bruna. What would you do if you discover a hidden talent you had never known about before?
I try to explore it, to delve deeper into it, try new things, see what I could do with it, see how I could develop it further. And also, I would show off to my friends, to my family, if it were a cool ability. And I'd try to see if I could use it to help me in my daily life or to through entertainment or something.
Thank you so much. So I think that it will be really nice to leverage it, maybe make it something beneficial for us, maybe something economical beneficial. We can use that talent for teaching, or maybe something I really want to know to do is open my I'm not sure if my YouTube channel and try to teach something over there. Nowadays, I'm thinking about teaching about my profession, that it's software development. But if I would discover a new really important talent that it's not that maybe not a lot of people have it, maybe I would leverage it and try to teach it and make some money with that talent, you know. So let's move on. So Pedro, tell us about this question. What would you do if you discovered some hidden talent?
For me, if I discover something, I think it is a surprising for me because we have infinity possibilities in our life, like to do some tasks, to do some hobbies, and other things like that. So for me, what's a surprise, like Bruna, I think I have to, if I discover, I will show to my parents, I will show to my family, to the friends. I will try to film and teaching for someone, but I think for you discover your task, like I agree with Bruno, you have to open the possibilities of your life, like live the different experience. Because if you just stay in your routine and do the same things, you don't know you never will discover if you have some hidden talents. So you have to get down the possibilities, try to learn a new instrument, like try speak a new language, or about tech things like to try some generate AI or something like that. I think we have to explore if you really want to discover a new talent.
I totally agree with you with that because we would never discover what are we capable to do if we don't try it, right? Because maybe we feel afraid of failing, or maybe we won't be capable to complete something that we started. But I think that it's important to start. It doesn't matter if it's gonna work or not. It's better to start because you will never know if you don't start, right? So thank you so much, Pedro, for bringing your insights. And Sydney, what do you think about the question number two?
Yeah, that question is interesting. The same time funny because in that time that all the society think about talent, special talent, that like a special, like the superpower, superheroes. And for example, it can be firstly, I would try to find that it can be useful for me, or it could I if I could use it for my entertainment. And also, I think Bruna said that it could be strange if it's strange for the people. We need to hide it for them. It can also, of course, we live in a society that we have money to at least to survive. So we could use it to make money and sometimes to help other people, people with needs. And for example, now try to think that it could be, for example, to a talent to drive a kart or to practice some sports. Yeah, of course, we could use it in many different ways. So that's it. That's my opinion. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sydney. I remember when I was in a work meeting, and they asked us an question really similar of this one, and the question was, what would you do if you discover that you are able to talk in any language that you want? So I want to ask the same question to you. What would you do with that, Pedro, if you were able to talk any language that you want?
So for me, I don't have a specific language because we have like some native indigenous cultures and povos that have interesting habits, but I don't know the name of the language. Like we all know Tupi Guarani and the others more popular indigenous, but I think I would choose some tribe indigenous like more desert or Quechua. Quechua, I think it's interesting language too. In the like the some some populations talk with this language too. And I think yeah, some indigenous are think because it have some language is difficult like Mandarin and the other things, but I think like a more restricted population is more interesting because we have like solid habits and some traditionals can keep it because it has small population.
Thank you so much, Pedro. And Bruna, what would you do if someday you just wake up and you discover that you are fluent in any language? What would you do with that talent?
Oh my God, I don't even know. Oh my goodness. I try I don't know. I don't even know. There's so many possibilities. But I would be
Yeah,
so happy with it. And in the
yeah, I
future, I
can.
could try to work uh, with companies abroad in any country that I wish. I try to communicate with people from other countries. I would love to watch movies in any language without having to use subtitles. There's so many possibilities.
Yeah, we don't have that boundary anymore. I can feel it because it's a tricky question, right? Yeah. So, and Sydney, what would you do with that talent of speaking the language that you want?
Yeah, I think I would like to speak Japanese. I'm a big fan of the Japanese people, the Japanese culture, and with that talent, I'd go to speak with them, to try to make contact and discuss things that I like very much. For example, about animation, about their food, the Japanese, the cuisines Japanese, and things like that. And sometimes plan to go to Japan and to visit that country in person.
Thank you so much, guys. So let's move on to the question number three. I'm gonna continue with you, Sydney. So, Sydney, what would you recommend as the best strategy for someone starting a new business in a competitive market? What would be your recommendation for your friends or for your relative? Or
Yes, firstly, I would recommend to where to study all the competitors in that specific market, and in order to find their weakness and strengths, and with that information, we could develop a new product or provide a new service that can or beat them or compete with the same target public. Uh, I think with other thing that it's to have money to invest in it, but maybe with a plan, with a study, we could find people, rich people or people with money that could invest in you in that project.
thank you so much. Yeah, I think that studying the market, the strengths and the weaknesses, it's so important. I would say that there is a acronym of that kind of study. In Spanish is the analysis FODA. I don't know how to say that in English nor in Portuguese, but yeah, it's so important that kind of study before opening or thinking about opening a new business. Pedro, what do you think about this question? What would be your recommendation for your friend?
In Brazil, we talk this strategy like matriz, SWOT, and FOFA too. It's a good strategy. For me, when we talk about the competitive market, I think we just don't have it just don't have it just you have some good idea. You have to get know and how you get these clients and how you make this product viable because we know some great ideas that came into the world, but it isn't in the right time. So the idea come and the people doesn't can like to grow this idea and came a good product like for example. So I think my best recommendation if I don't have any business and I don't work here autonomy, but I think the best strategy is get know the strategy of the market because it just don't you have the idea and you are good to make some products like I am good to make donuts, so I will sell that. We have to understand how marketing works and establish your strategy to how is your difference in the market because the people just don't buy the product but buy the idea.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, Pedro. And something I wanted to add is that nowadays I think it's so difficult to try to find a new idea, a new innovate idea, because all of the market is full of those kind of good ideas. But something maybe that maybe I would say, or maybe a recommendation I could I could make. Maybe do maybe the same thing that another enterprise, another another business is already doing, but in a different way. Because as I already said, it's so difficult to bring new ideas nowadays because the market is full of that. Maybe try to innovate with something new, maybe applying technology applications, something like that, to try to be different of your competition. And that's it. So, how about you, Bruna? What do you think about the question number three?
I agree with everything you guys said, and also understand your target audience, understand their needs, see what problems they have, what could you do to solve them, create a brand that connects with them. Also, uh, go digital, use social media, technology, a lot of platforms, because nowadays if you aren't online, people don't see you basically. And build a network with people that can help you and stay flexible, adapt to change, to trends, never stop studying. Yeah, That's a lot of things.
Thank you so much, Bruna. Let's move on to the question number four. I think that is kind of tricky, but let's try to respond this one. I'm gonna start with you, Sydney. What would you change about the current education system to better prepare students for the future?
Well, certainly I would reform that current curriculum. I think including another essential matters like uh, finance, technology. Uh, I think to take seriously English and Spanish, and for example, other matters that could improve the abilities and skills of the young people and prepare them for the future. Just not about the job market, but for the real life. I think for the road, because I think now there are many of them, especially in the public education, they don't have opportunities to, I think, to understand the things, to improve some abilities. I think all the time they are studying things that they don't do, they would not apply in their real life. Something about mathematics or physics or something like biological things like that. So I would reform that curriculum to I think to in order to make them have opportunities to improve themselves.
I absolutely agree with that. In my personal opinion as well, I think that the current curriculum here in South America it's obsolete. And I think that they schools or education in general would add another kind of subject like financial, for example, to prepare, as you already said, prepare persons for the real life. I know in Europe, for example, students just take. I don't know for how long, but they take the regular subjects until one specific age, and then they decide the field that they want to follow. And it's better because, if, for example, if your children if you don't really like chemistry, for example, it's a waste of time still continuing studying chemistry. And imagine that you are really good at arts. It would be better to invest that time that you waste studying chemistry in more classes in arts, and your skill will be better and better, and you will be a good artist, So that's my opinion about this question. I wanted to know from you, Pedro, what do you think about this one?
So I remember the high school in Brazil was reformulated like 2 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago. But it was a little mistake because the major idea was good, but let's put the product, but we don't invest in that. So I work in a material, a book for a project of life. This name of the matter, and it was real interesting. But I think the mistake for this discipline specifically, with the teacher he makes to apply this discipline is don't have received any training and something like that. Just receive the book and go away and we try to get the European the people choose the matters, but we don't have the measure of the school. I use the example of my city and the cities the nearby. We don't have some labors and other things like if the people are good in chemistry and the other things. We don't have a space to improve these skills. So, but I agree with you, Sydney, in you said about the financial class because when you got to the market, we make some money, but we don't know how to administrate that. And if we don't be responsible with that, we just spend, and our accounts oh my gosh, I have to pay rent and the other accounts. So it's really important about that because oh, the principle of school is education, like just not for a pass your vestibular or some task. It's like to prepare you for the real world. I think that was the principle of the education, but we have to change a lot of things. But I don't believe like if the politicians are real enjoy to do that, in my opinion.
They won't because that needs a lot of investment, and it's something that maybe they don't care at all about education growth in our countries. It's something sad, but it's our reality. So thank you so much, Pedro, for bringing out up your insights. What about you, Bruna? What do you think about what would you change in the current education system?
I mean, I agree with everything. The curriculum should definitely be updated and include more uh, technical and practical skills. We need the students to learn things that they will use in their lives. It doesn't matter what profession. They need to people need things in common. So, like you said, financials and stuff like that, or even optional disciplines for like domestic things to learn. Like when my mom was younger, she had cooking classes in school. It was optional, but she had it and it helped her a lot. So things like that should help. And yeah, I agree with every. I don't even have something to say, but yeah, it should definitely change. People, when we get out of school, we face so many challenges that we are not prepared to. So if we had something to help us in school, it should definitely be good.
Thank you so much, Bruna. So I'm gonna continue with you. So the question number five, because it's not fair that you are the last one of answering the question because almost all of our colleagues already brought our response I wanted to say. So let's go to the question number five. What would you include in a perfect day off to ensure you feel both relaxed and rejuvenated? I have never read that word before, but you understood me. So
Yeah.
what would be your perfect day?
First of all, waking up late, the having a good meal, spending the day like reading something or watching a movie or a TV show, just relaxing without getting worried about anything, without any responsibilities, being by myself or maybe with someone else, a friend maybe, and just chilling and at home, just relaxing.
So you prefer indoors activities, I
Yeah.
would say. Okay. So, mine, it would be maybe taking a walk with my wife, surrounded by nature, in those kind of parks here. Here in Curitiba, there are a lot of beautiful parks are surrounded by nature, so we enjoy going to walk over there. Another one that is important is having a really good meal. It can, for me, here in Brazil, the barbecue is the best. All the time that I have the opportunity, I go to a churrascaria. So, and with a Coca-Cola, it would be the perfect meal for me. And then maybe watching some movies that we enjoy watching with my wife and with popcorns. Just talking about the life because sometimes we are so overwhelmed about our work, our job, the things that the bills that you have to pay. Just talking about different subject that not them for me would be enough. A perfect day. And so, what about you, Pedro? How would be your perfect date or your perfect day off? What would be the activities that you would include?
So, earlier I will talk like equal Bruno, like he wake up earlier, wake up late. But nowadays, I can't sleep like too much time. I don't know what happens with my organism and my body, but I think the start of my day would be wake up just on nature, not too much earlier or too much lately, but when I feel comfortable to wake up. So after that, I prefer like more outdoor activities too, because I like to enjoy the nature and the feel the day, like the sun and the things like that. But to relax and like have a chill day, I think you don't have like a specific plans. Like you have just enjoy nature, more nature as possible. Because if you have for example, when you are take a vacation, you have a specific schedule to do some activities. You just you don't enjoy real much. I think when we don't really want to chill off, you have to just see flow, just follow the flow, and relax. I like to lie on walking too, and that is.
I totally agree with that part that you said. Just follow, just follow the flow, because sometimes we planify something that make try to make it perfect, and we create high expectation of that, and we doesn't go in that way. You get frustrated, you know. So yeah, it's something good that you mention it. Um, Lastly, I wanted to know from you, Sydney, what 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 would be the activity that you add and your in your perfect day off?
Definitely, I would like to hike with my wife and my son in some remote place with a nature, some mountains, some place like that. And for me, I think don't have to attend some people's calls and don't have to have some worries about some specific things in our day, our professional day, because even on weekends, I have to do something about my work. Some people call me to advance something, and I think to go to some place to refresh with some place with water like rivers, waterfalls, and like could be interesting place to I think to relax and to rejuvenate it. And yes, I think that's it.
Thank you so much, Sydney. I want to continue with you, so I want to skip the next question. So let's read what was the one? Okay, the seventh one that I found so interesting to know about from you. So, what would you invent if you had the opportunity to create a new gadget or technology? What would you invent, Sydney? Let us know.
Yes. Well, let me see. I would invent. Okay, I had an idea some time before about to invent a camera that the athletes could put it in their head, like for example the football players, and every that players we have that with the ball, the camera will focus in their vision and transmit it to the people on the TV, and that people could see the match in the real time, like the visual of the player. I think it would revolutional. I don't know how I can say it. It will, yeah, make the people see that sport differently, and I think it will be incredible invent that technology.
It's interesting, interesting that you already thought about that. In my personal opinion, I'm just in this at this time just trying to think about what would I invent. But you already did in the past, so it was so easy to answer that question for you. So thank you so much, Sydney. And what about you, Pedro? What would be your invention?
Oh, I will pass my time to Bruna first after I go because I have to think a little bit more.
Okay, no problem. What about you, Bruna? What do you think about what would be your revolutionary invention?
I'm going to be way out of reality here, but I'd love to create a device that could record our dreams and show it on screen. Because I have the craziest dreams, and some dreams is like an entire movie. So I would love to see my dreams on screen and show people them. So yeah, that would be impossible. But if it were possible, I would love to create it.
I'm not sure if you guys have already have already watched that meme that say every dream has a meaning, and the other picture is my dream that it's something
Yeah.
totally random, you know? So
Yeah.
the same thing happened to me because my dreams lately were really, really random. So that kind of gadget that Bruna just said would be maybe something kind of comedy, comedy to about my dreams. So yeah, that. Thank you so much, Bruna. And what about you, Pedro? Do you already know do you already have your answer?
So, follow the idea of the Bruna like something over normal. I think I would make some machine to understand like the language of the animals, like the dog, the cat, to really understand like what they want, what they try to talk, and we don't understand. Because I have a little cat, and sometimes I see her and she makes some noise, some meows, and I really want to know if I'm doing the correct what they really want, because sometimes I make some cafuné in here, and I don't know if what is the if you really want to do that or other thing. Yes, I don't have so much ideas to what I have to invent.
Thank you so much, Pedro. It's my turn, and I don't have any my own idea, but I'm not sure if you already watched that movie that it's in Spanish is Lluvia de Hamburguesas. I'm not sure if it's the same title in Portuguese. I don't think so, but in English is Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. That machine that creates food through water. It's not an anime. It's animation movie. So the main idea is that the a scientist creates a machine that just needs water, and with water you can choose the any kind of food that that you want, hamburgers, pizza. So I always dreaming about maybe having that kind of machine in real life because I really love eating, you know. So that would be my invention, bringing that animation gadget to the real life. So let's move on to the question number eight, and I think that this will be our last one. I'm not sure, but I'm gonna continue with you, Pedro. What would you prioritize if you had a chance to redesign your home to a better to better fit your lifestyle?
So it's my dream. Nowadays I live with my parents, but when I live it my with myself, just I and my friend, I had this problem because we don't have a lot of money. So the house is the decoration of the house like is just essential because we don't have money. We don't have money to buy a sofa or a TV or something like that. So if I had the opportunity, like living with my parents, I think is modulate my room, like it make it more because like I use my room to my secretary too. So if I could more to organize and put some things more professional, like to exactly when I go to the meeting and show more professional, I think that was I will do. But if I have a chance to redesign all my home, if I live by myself, I think I follow adverts of the Instagrams accounts that shows like tips to if you live by a rent with your rent and some things like that that can real change the the environment, and it's a real ship and it's possible like it doesn't like a real construction. You have to break walls and things like that. It's a simple changes that it makes a real difference in the total.
Thank you so much, Pedro. That was so interesting. What about you, Bruna? What would be your choices? What would be the change, or if you had the opportunity to change something in your house or in your future house?
I'd like to incorporate smart home features like automated lighting, climate control, security systems, things that will make easier to do things more practical. And especially since I live with my grandparents, it would be way easier for them to do things if you were automated. So yeah, and also create a more comfortable layout with more natural lights, open spaces to make it more cozy and relaxing.
Thanks so much, Bruna, for bringing up your thoughts, your insights. Finally, Sydney, what do you think about the question number 8?
Yeah, I think I would rebuild my house to have a place for me to enjoy my hobbies, a place to play my video games, to work out, and to read my books. And I think it are different things in the same place, but that's my hobbies. I would like very much to have a place to remember me a kind of a nature, to have a artificial lake or a garden that at least help me to relieve some stressful, and the well, a place with some animals would be good for me. Some animals like rabbits, yes, dogs, cats, yeah, would be good. And the yeah, I think yes, that's it.
Thank you so much, Sydney. So, in a personal opinion, would be maybe, well, I currently live in an apartment, so maybe in my future home, I would like to have my own gym. As well, I would like to design a desk special for my work because I work in front of the desk all of the day. That's not healthy for my physical health. So I already saw some desks, some settings that some software developer has that are so cool. They have kind of three screens over there, and they can put up. I don't know if the word is put up the desk automatically, and you can continue working while you are walking through a walking machine. I don't know how to say that in English as well. So that's my dream, having that kind of desk here in my home, continuing working remotely, obviously, and maybe try to adapt a green style, and a minimalism style as well in my future home. And that will be my answer, guys. So I think that we don't have more time for continuing our question in the list. But I wanted to know from you guys, how did you find the conversation? You liked it? You didn't? We are not so many people here, so I think that every one of us can express our thoughts. So I wanted to know from you, Pedro, because it's your first immersion with me. So how was the conversation for you? Do you like it?
Yes, I like it. Well, when I try pick one immersion per day, and when I find that with random questions, I think it was very interesting because sometimes we have a guide for some questions by this thing, but when you have a random questions, we have to explore new things, and sometimes like the what kind of inventions you will have you with you would can invent. It's a interesting question because I never thought about that. Like I work as a designer and I work with digital products, but create a new idea isn't easy. And when we talk like Sydney say, let's I will do that. It's for me it's very hard because I had to put in the paper, share the reference. I am the kind of this guy, but I enjoy real thanks.
Right, I totally agree with that part that maybe answering this kind of random question is challenging because you have to bring different kind of vocabulary to your mind. And if you compare it with that regular immersion that is just about one subject, it's kind of a closed subject. So you already know maybe how you have to answer the question. So yeah, it's kind of challenging. So thank you so much, Pedro, for your feedback. And you, Sydney, how was the conversation for you?
I appreciate it a lot. Yeah, for me, it's always a pleasure to participate your immersion with your Christian. And that topic, it was very interesting because, like you said, it makes us think how to answer that question. And even in Portuguese, it's very difficult to answer that, to speak about that. And also, it, I think, incentivate us to improvise and think about something that, yeah, so it was very good. Thank you, Christian.
Thank you so much, Sydney. And finally, Bruna, in 1 minute, as a max, tell us how was the conversation for you?
I like it a lot. The questions were really interesting. Some were really hard to answer, but at the same time, really fun. It made me think a lot. And I love it when we have random questions, like the voice said. It makes a new challenge, and it's really fun for me to do it. So I loved it.
So much, Bruna. And finally, thank you guys for being here with me. That's it for today. I just sent you the survey URL, the survey link to if you can fill it up, it will be really helpful for me for improving my performance as a facilitator and improving your experience in the platform at all. So if you can fill it up, it will help us to improve that. And I hope to see you in my next immersion on Friday. In the next Friday, we will be talking about I don't remember the subject. We will be talking about if you are an early bird or a night owl. So hope to see you there, guys. And that's it for today. So see you later. Bye bye. Have a good weekend.
Bye
Ciao, ciao.
bye.
Bye
Thank
bye
you.
guys. Have a
Thank
good
you.
weekend.
Have a weekend.